end-to-end encryption on all messages, meaning only the sender and receiver can receive what is transmitted. Latest protests in Venezuela are coming from doctors and medical students trying to alert the world to poor conditions in hospitals, along with critical shortages of medication and supplies. Police blocked the protests and drove them away from the presidential palace. IRN USA Radio News, I'm Jason Wirt.
What is term life insurance? It's basically a financial protection plan for your family if you pass away. It can be a hard purchase. Think about it. It's one of the few major purchases you can make that you will personally never use. But you've got to have it to protect your family. And you owe it to yourself to shop and compare to get the best possible rates. For term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, call the Term Lifeline today.
800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068. Remember, we specialize in term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, and we have great rates for smokers too. So call today. 800-957-6068. 800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now, it's Car Concerns with the award-winning new car dealer, Harry Douglas. And now, your car star, here's Harry.
Okay, you got to move that microphone in just a little bit closer, folks. Hey, I'm Harry Douglas. This is Car Concerns Radio. I am glad to be with you this morning. Hey, I'm coming fresh off the campaign trail. I'm running for Congress in the third district of Tennessee. Excuse me. I get a little confused there every now and then. But anyhow, it's very interesting. Do I have Ken Zino with me this morning? Ken Zino.
Morning. This is a little early for an April Fool's joke. Are you really running for Congress?
I really am.
Oh, be careful.
Why?
Why do you want to swim in that cesspool?
Because I want to clean it up, Ken.
Well,
I know I'm just one man. I probably can't clean it up myself, but hey, it's a start. And if we had more folks out there who were willing to jump into that cesspool and try to clean it up, maybe we could clean it up. You know, like I told people, I'm knocking on doors. I'm going door to door. And I haven't done that in years. I'm doing.
Are you on the ballot, Harry, or you have to get signatures?
Well, I'm getting my signatures right now, but I will be on the ballot. I've got enough signatures. I've got to carry it down to Nashville and do all the proper work down there. But yeah, I'll be on the ballot.
Do you have a party in mind? You're going to run as an independent?
Oh no, I'm running. I'm a Republican, Ken.
Okay.
I'm born and raised a Republican. Here's the bad part about that. There's 5 Republicans running in the primary and not a single Democrat.
Well, so it's going to come down to who the party leaders want, I guess.
Probably. But now I did get an interesting call last evening from one of the other candidates. And believe it or not, they're asking me to drop out because he's afraid that he won't be able to win because I'll get the votes that he needs to win.
Well, then what is he going to offer you if he wins? Well,
it was an incredible offer, and I told him I would think about it. But, I really want to run. I really think I can make a difference in Congress.
Well, you certainly will be highly entertaining. I can tell you that from the radio show.
All right.
Whether you can make a difference is a bigger question.
What now?
I said whether you can make a difference is a bigger question, but I have no doubt you'll be entertaining.
Oh, absolutely. And, who knows? Barack Obama, he was in there 6 months, and next thing you know, he's running for president.
Yeah, of course, he had some connections coming through Harvard and the Illinois political machine. He had some advantages you don't have, Harry, to be frank.
Well, I don't know about that. But anyhow, did you see the email I sent you?
Yes, I did.
That concerns me.
That's actually on subject here, because you're wading into what Harry's talking about, folks, is the Democratic House in Michigan is attacking the Republicans, and they want more money to repair the roads. That's the ostensible issue, right, Harry?
That is the issue. And if you go to the Detroit News and find that article, I think it's in Politics there, I made a extensive comment on that. I'm one of their lead commentators. Did you know that?
Well, that's good. At least maybe we can get some different opinions. The News is a conservative paper. This is part practicality and much larger part politics, though, Harry. Yes, the roads in Michigan need repair. This winter was particularly severe. The legislature has refused to raise the taxes to repair the roads. The Republican governor has given back billions of dollars in tax breaks for businesses. There's currently a state surplus, and that's what this argument is about. And when I say this argument, it's over the Democrats want to force the Republicans to put more money into road repair, which of course involves union jobs, which is the base of the Democratic Party. The Republicans want to give the money back to business in the form of tax cuts or credits, and that's where it sits as of this morning. Another interesting twist is the UAW and the AFL-CIO have now started a website, and they call them Schneider holes. Governor Snyder is the Republican governor of Michigan.
Right.
And they're asking people to send in and put up on Twitter and Facebook pictures of their favorite potholes. So this has turned into I don't know how serious it is ultimately in the election, but right now it's getting a lot of attention, particularly in the local press.
Well, here's my point exactly. In 2008, the Senate approved George Bush's, and he initiated it. I don't know if it got approved in his term or not, but do you remember the TARP fund, the Troubled Asset Relief Fund?
Yes, the initial approval was under the waning days of the Bush administration, which is the late fall of 2008. But then very little of the money was allocated. It was left up to the Obama administration to implement it.
Well, now, I don't know if it was in the TARP fund or if it was in the spending bill that came after that. I mean, Barack Obama said that he wasn't for all this allocated money, but lo and behold, he says this spending bill was already on the table, so he's going to push it through the Congress and the Senate. And I believe it was either the TARP fund or the Senate bill had all kinds of billions of dollars. Do you remember the term shovel-ready jobs?
Oh, yes, indeed, and it turns out there weren't any shovel-ready.
And that money was allocated because I remember distinctly, I was reporting on it on this show, that money was distinctly earmarked for infrastructure, to repair infrastructure, which means roads and bridges and I guess government buildings. But there was billions and billions of dollars. Where'd that money go?
Well, some of it was ultimately spent, but it took several years under Obama to get the approvals and get the obstructionist states because of the bill. And remember, anytime you're dealing with construction bills, you've got a problem with Republicans because they don't like the fact that the unions benefit from construction bills, and that supports the Democratic political coalition that they are completely 100% opposed to. So all these things get to be very messy. At the same time that this was going on, fuel efficiency was going up at the record levels year after year. And then the Obama administration compounded the issue because they put in even more stringent fuel efficiency standards. And the Highway Trust Fund, which is funded by a federal gasoline tax, is actually bankrupt and has been bankrupt for several years because the Congress, and I mean both the Senate and the House, mostly the House,
Right.
refuses to raise gasoline taxes to make up for the shortfall needed.
Wait a minute. I got an argument there.
Well, you have an argument, and I've heard it before, but you don't have any facts. I mean, that's my problem with it, Harry. The amount of money going into the trust fund is going down.
Let me ask you this. Does anybody track that money that goes into that trust fund and what it is actually spent on?
Well, if you go to, there's two organizations that actually do that. And the first, of course, is the Inspector General of the Department of Transportation. And then there's an association of state highway administrators that also track this stuff very closely. And there's a construction firm that also issues a national, actually it's an international firm, but a large national construction company that also issues reports on this. So there's lots of stuff out there. And there's, at UponAutoInformed.com, there are several articles on the Highway Trust Fund and the political problems surrounding it. And the biggest political problem is the classic American one, which is who pays. And nobody using the roads wants to pay.
Well, I think, if that's what needs to be done, then that's what needs to be done. But I still can't fathom the idea that right now, as we're speaking, Ken, millions and millions and millions of gallons of gasoline and diesel fuel are being pumped into vehicles out there. And what is the tax? 19 cents a gallon?
Yes, and it hasn't been raised in, 40 years?
19 cents a gallon. Some of it going to the states, and some of it, and the rest going to the feds. And I can't even it boggles my mind to think how much money's pouring in every single minute on this.
Well, but Harry, I could go up
Hey,
on...
we got to go to the break, Ken. We'll pick it up on the other side. I'm Harry Douglas. This is Car Concerns Radio. When your money's on the line, call the line that's on the money. That's Car Concerns. 1-855 Car Concerns. Right back after the break.
Here's something you don't hear on the radio every day. Someone who can't see. I am totally blind, and I go through periods where I'm unable to sleep at night and feel like I'm constantly running but can never quite catch up. But this isn't a sleep problem. It's something called non-24. Learn about the link between total blindness and your symptoms. Visit learnmorenon24.com or call 855-856-2424.
Sponsored by Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
Geico presents a man who just saved on his motorcycle insurance.
What up? Evan here. Question. You like apples? I'll get to that in a minute. First, check out my motorcycle. Flames? Yep. Saddlebags? Yep. Room for two? Negatory! Sorry, ladies. I ride solo. Now, wait for it. How you like them apples? Aw, don't cry. Insuring this beast was crazy easy. Called Geico and boom, saved enough to buy a sidecar. Now, if you dry your tears, I might just let you ride in it.
Geico Motorcycle. See how much you could save.
Staples has great deals on everything you need to keep a germ-free office. From latex gloves and antibacterial wipes to steam cleaners and keyboard vacuums. Everything.
Sorry.
Except germ-free coworkers. Thousands of products added online every day. Text CLEAN to 555-444 and get 15% off your cleaning supply purchase. Staples. Make more happen.
Offer valid in store and at staples.com through 3/15/14. Exclusions may apply. You'll receive one message per text message and data rates may apply. No purchase necessary. See staples.com/SMS for Staples mobile terms and conditions.
Okay, you ready? I'm gonna let go of the bike now.
Wait, not yet, Dad.
No, just keep pedaling. You've got it.
Don't let go, don't let go.
There are moments in life that cause us to hesitate.
I already did. You're doing it.
Woohoo! I'm doing it.
But once we take action, we're awfully glad we did. Markets are changing, and interest rates are still low. If you're thinking about getting into the real estate market, now may be the time to make your move. Every market's different. Call a Realtor today and visit Realtor.com. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Right now until March 18th, the flooring experts at Lumber Liquidators have huge deals going to fit any taste or budget, like donor oak laminate for an amazing 39 cents a square foot. Beautiful carbonized bamboo for just $139. Even spectacular Bellawood pre-finished Bolivian rosewood for an incredible $299 a square foot. Pick up free samples at hundreds of stores nationwide, plus special financing available and easy professional installation or expert advice for DIYers. But hurry, this sale ends March 18th. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
If you're watching your wallet like most of us, then here's a family vacation offer from Caribbean Cruise Line. Imagine your family on a luxurious vacation to the Bahamas, including your cabin, all your meals, full spa, casino, live entertainment, 3 kids clubs, a kids water park, and more. Now imagine getting this amazing vacation deal for only $59 per person. This cruise has a full retail value of $500, and it's yours for just $59. We guarantee your family will love this vacation offer, and you'll love the price at just $59 per person for a $500 all-inclusive cruise to the Bahamas. Call right now. Book your cruise vacation. Space is limited. Call 800-364-3105, 800-364-3105, 800-364-3105, 800-364-3105.
Got pain? Get Zim's Max Freeze. Zim's Max Freeze, maximum muscle and joint pain relief. Your solution for temporary relief of aches and pains. Zim's Max Freeze knows your pain and relieves backache, strains, bruises, and sprains. If you're a senior, weekend warrior, or seasoned athlete, get Zim's Max Freeze. Zim's Max Freeze is fast-acting and deep penetrating with no lingering odor. Available at all major retailers.
This is Car Concerns with your host, Harry Douglas. Now, here's Harry.
Okay, here we are back on AutoInform.com. I tell you, if you're going to be one of the millions and millions of retail automotive consumers entering into the prospective car buying market this week, AutoInform.com might be just a good place for you to start. Hey, the more you know. Hey, I always say no before you go. That's what I always say, Ken.
Well, more information is better in my view, and always has been.
Knowledge is king. That's what I was always told. The more you know, the better it'll be. But anyhow, Ken, we were talking about the road tax. We were talking about the gasoline tax and how roads in this country. You know, I'm very close to a lot of truck drivers out there. I talk to them almost on a weekly basis, and they tell me that the infrastructure, that the roads are really horrible. Well, the roads I travel on, I go down I-40 over to Nashville quite often, and I got to tell you, that could not be a better road in the country than that.
Well, you're fortunate in that you don't have the extreme cycles of weather that more northern and northwestern or northeastern states have. One of the issues here in Michigan, and this goes basically across the snow belt and all the way up into the northwest, is that we've had an extreme winter with both hot and cold, large amounts of snow, and then thawing, and then the water refreezing. And that's breaking up the pavement. And the problem here in Michigan right now is, I tell anybody who asks, do not drive in the right-hand lane, because typically, if you have a multi-lane road, that is, typically the right-hand lane is the one that's got the worst damage, and particularly the right front tire on your car is the one you need to keep an eye on, because that's the one that usually hits the bad stuff first. I mean, I've been through 2 tires and a wheel this winter, and I can't remember the last time I did that. And these are 60 series tires, Harry. I know they're lower profile, but they're not the extreme ones. I mean, people that are out there on 40 or 45 series tires must be in real trouble this year.
I'll tell you what, golly, bum, I got to knock on wood. I hadn't had a flat tire. Man, if I talk about it now, I mean,
don't say a word.
Yeah. But it's been a long time.
Yeah, just don't say a word, Harry.
Of course, I'm very fortunate. I get to drive a new car every week. I guess that has a lot to do with it.
Well, that helps. And tires, of course, are one of the most important components of a car, because all that's between you and oblivion, frankly, is the 4 contact patches on the tires. I mean, that's that's really what steers the car, brakes the car, stops the car. I mean, it's really the most important piece on the car in your contact with the road.
Right. It's the only part of the automobile that touches the road. That's absolutely correct. Hey, let me talk to you about this just for a second. I don't know if you drove one or not, but this week I've been driving a 2014 Ford Escape. Yeah, Escape SE. And I got to
nice car.
That is a fantastic little crossover vehicle.
Yeah, they've had a couple of recall and they've got quality problems, but the basic vehicle, if you've got a good one, is right up there. The problem that Ford has is it's up against the Honda CR-V and the Toyota RAV4, two of the great vehicles in the segment.
Yeah, I've drove the RAV4 right before the end of the year last year. It was a 2014, but it was a wonderful vehicle and I enjoyed it. But I've been driving this Ford Escape SE, and I got to tell you, I've enjoyed it tremendously this week. I've did a lot of campaigning in it, and it's served the purpose well.
Yeah, and it's one of the best sellers at Ford. It's been in and out of the top 10 selling list depending on the month. But that's the F-Series, of course, the much bigger F-Series pickup truck is the franchise at Ford, at least in the United States. But the Escape and the Fusion and the Focus are all very strong products from Ford and are doing very well.
This Escape has the EcoBoost in it, and I haven't tested the gas mileage. I've just put gas in. Well, it had gas in it, but I've just got in it and drove it. I haven't tested to see what the MPG is, but it seems like it's getting pretty good miles per gallon.
You should be able to pull it up off of the trip computer on the car if you can figure out how to use the trip computer. Then the issue is the trip computers are essentially unregulated, so they tend to be optimistic. But I mean, it gives you a good baseline, and you can also, what's on that? You got the sticker in front of you, Harry?
No, I don't. I don't have the sticker at all in front of me.
I bet you EcoBoost SE. What do we think? 30,000, maybe 32,000?
Somewhere right in there, the best I remember.
Yeah.
Low 30s, right.
Back to the Highway Trust Fund. The average price of a vehicle in the United States today, a new vehicle, is now over $30,000. The average price of a pickup truck is over $40,000. When the Highway Trust Fund was established, the average price of a new vehicle was under $2,000 in the United States. So, and the taxes have not risen correspondingly, and that's just a shorthand way of saying the price of repairing the roads has gone up. Well, but we haven't raised the taxes on the roads.
I tell you what, a stock just went across the board. Clean diesel, Clean Diesel Tech, I believe it was. And it was at $4.79. That looks like that could be a prospective gainer right there. I'm going to check that stock out after the show, and who knows, maybe I'll buy a boatload of it or a truckload of it.
I got a quick look at our website, and I vaguely recall doing something on Clean Diesel. I think they have come up with well, I won't say it, but I think what's going on here is all of the work in alternative fuels going forward is centered on using not food crops, but either the stalks or sawgrass or some crop or some non-food crop or waste, right, from food crops to generate fuels or additives that increase the octane levels of fuels. And it's been promised for a long time. There's lots of Department of Energy money into the research on this, and the idea is not to starve ourselves to death to supply our transportation needs. But by the way, Harry, this is a global problem. Last year, farmers had record crops across the world.
Let me stop you there. We got a minute to go before we go to the break here, Ken. But I know the University of Tennessee down here in Loudoun County has a big farm, and it grows switchgrass. Why is there a big problem Why can't we just grow switchgrass and forget the corn?
That's not the problem. That's the solution. That's what I'm saying. We had record food production last year, but we also produced more people globally than anything.
Hey,
so
Ken, we got a break coming up here. We'll talk about it on the other side. The opening bell is going to happen here, folks. Hey, I'm watching some key stocks. You need to be subscribing to my newsletter, the Car Concerns Auto Index 100 Fund. Hey, I'm on the money. I'll be right back after the break. What?
Little Jack Horner sat in a corner of his ransacked apartment, wondering what kind of nitwit steals a futon. Luckily, the Geico Insurance Agency had helped him with renter's insurance, and he got full replacement. Unfortunately, little Jack Horner had to have his stomach pumped when he ate a 6-month-old Christmas pie. Visit geico.com to see how affordable renter's insurance can be.
Staples has great deals on everything you need to keep a germ-free office. From latex gloves and antibacterial wipes to steam cleaners and keyboard vacuums. Everything. Sorry. Except germ-free coworkers. Thousands of products added online every day. Text CLEAN to 555-444 and get 15% off your cleaning supply purchase. Staples. Make more happen.
Offer valid in store and at staples.com through 3/15/14. Exclusions may apply. You'll receive one message per text message and data rates may apply. No purchase necessary. See staples.com/SMS for Staples mobile terms and conditions.
Okay, you ready? I'm gonna let go of the bike now.
Wait, not yet, Dad.
No, just keep pedaling. You've got it.
Don't let go, don't let go.
There are moments in life that cause us to hesitate.
I already did. You're doing it.
Woohoo! I'm doing it.
But once we take action, we're awfully glad we did. Markets are changing, and interest rates are still low. If you're thinking about getting into the real estate market, now may be the time to make your move. Every market's different. Call a Realtor today and visit Realtor.com. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Obvious.
If your hotel balcony lacks a railing and a floor, it's probably just a window. If you're going to LA, don't book a hotel room in Tallahassee. If you want to book hotels from your mobile device, use the Hotels.com mobile app. You can't use it until you download it, but once you have, you've got it.
Hotels.com, the obvious choice.
Here's something you don't hear on the radio every day. Someone who can't see. I am totally blind, and I go through periods where I'm unable to sleep at night and feel like I'm constantly running but can never quite catch up. But this isn't a sleep problem. It's something called non-24. Learn about the link between total blindness and your symptoms. Visit learnmorenon24.com or call 855-856-2424.
Sponsored by Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
Okay, you ready? I'm gonna let go of the bike now.
Wait, not yet, Dad.
No, just keep pedaling. You've got it.
Don't let go, don't let go.
There are moments in life that cause us to hesitate.
I already did. You're doing it.
Woohoo! I'm doing it.
But once we take action, we're awfully glad we did. Markets are changing, and interest rates are still low. If you're thinking about getting into the real estate market, now may be the time to make your move. Every market's different. Call a Realtor today and visit Realtor.com. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS that you can't pay? Call now for immediate help. 866-657-8517. At Community Tax Relief, we help consumers like you. If you take on the IRS alone, you could be facing levies, liens, even wage garnishments, personal or business tax issues. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, they will aggressively come after you. Protect yourself and your family today from what the IRS can do to you. Call now. 866-657-8517. They can freeze your bank account, even garnish your wages. Our expert team of tax professionals can solve your tax problems once and for all. Call now for a free 5-minute tax debt analysis. 866-657-8517. 866-657-8517. 866-657-8517.
Right now until March 18th, the flooring experts at Lumber Liquidators have huge deals going to fit any taste or budget, like donor oak laminate for an amazing 39 cents a square foot. Beautiful carbonized bamboo for just $139. Even spectacular Bellawood pre-finished Bolivian rosewood for an incredible incredible $2.99 a square foot. Pick up free samples at hundreds of stores nationwide, plus special financing available and easy professional installation or expert advice for DIYers. But hurry, this sale ends March 18th. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Obvious.
If your hotel balcony lacks a railing and a floor, it's probably just a window. If you're going to LA, don't book a hotel room in Tallahassee. If you want to book hotels from your mobile device, use the Hotels.com mobile app. You can't use it until you download it, but once you have, you've got it.
Hotels.com, the obvious choice.
This is Car Concerns with your host, Harry Douglas. Now, here's Harry.
Okay, here we are back with Car Concerns Radio. I'm talking to Ken Zino, autoinform.com. But before I continue the conversation, I want to invite each and every one of you to become one of our more than 80,000 followers on Twitter.com. Twitter.com/Car Concerns, all one word, CarConcerns. I don't know, Ken, it's a big thing. I tweeted out your stories right before the show this morning. What was your lead story there at autoinform.com?
Well, it depends on what time you looked at AutoInform.
Well, it was right before the show. It'd be between 8:30 and 9.
Okay, well,
here, I can tell you, I've got it up here somewhere, but go ahead.
Well, the lead story is an editorial that was, at that time, where's the independent investigation of NHTSA for its failure to act on the deadly GM ignition switches. We have since put up, while we were talking, I just put up a post that is entitled Political Grandstanding Over GM Ignition Switch Fatalities.
That's exactly right. That's the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
Hey, we talked about that quite a bit on last week's show. What's your take on this GM switch problem?
Well, I mean,
how many is it contributed to the death? I think it's 13.
There's 13 alleged, 31 frontal accidents that we're aware of in the public docket. My take is it's a real problem. There's a lot of questions to be asked, both at GM and at NHTSA, but an internal GM investigation I'm very skeptical of, and an investigation at the Department of Transportation by the Department of Transportation Inspector General of NHTSA I'm very skeptical of. So I think this needs to be independent. Now, Fred Upton, who's a Republican and chairman of the House Energy and Commerce Committee, has said that they will investigate. But I'm even more skeptical of that investigation. I mean, we need somebody complete. We need an independent prosecutor.
And where is Fred Upton from?
He's a Republican from Michigan.
Yeah, we need someone to step in there from some other state that's not so who doesn't take a lot of money from the auto manufacturers in the form of war chest money to run for re-election.
Well, he's from upstate Michigan, where there's relatively less auto money. But your point is well taken. But then,
wait a minute, Ken. That auto money goes across the nation, not just Michigan. I mean, those guys fund a lot of campaigns. I'm looking forward to getting my fair share from them because, hey, if they want me in their ballpark, they better put a patch on my shoulder.
See, but that's the problem. There's just too many. In the Congress, it's less. I mean, at the lower house, because of the sheer numbers. But for example, a lot of the auto money in Michigan is Senator Debbie Stabenow, and Senator Carl Levin. They're both Democrats. They're both basically, their political base is southeastern Michigan. My only point, and your point is the same, is how do we get a real investigation, and how do we get to the bottom of what looks like a government safety agency, once again, a government regulator not doing its job.
Right, right. Yeah. I agree with you 100%. Hey, should I make it to Congress, hey, that will be one of my things to do, is to see what the hell's going on over at the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. You know, they're supposed to be watching out for the consumer, and I just don't feel like they're doing their job.
Well, in some cases they do, in some cases they don't. But the two troubling ones were the recall of the Toyota and Lexus cars and trucks, SUVs, for the stuck accelerator pedal or unintended acceleration. That was 10 million vehicles, and that went on for 10 years. And the scandal there was, in Revolving Door, Washington, former NHTSA employees, former Toyota employees were working at NHTSA during the period when these complaints were arising, and they quashed or they stalled or they sidetracked the investigations, depending on how you want to term it. And, to me, that was verging on criminal. And it took, years and years and years. And then NHTSA, and then we went through show hearings also in the House over the Toyota thing. And now here we are again with the GM ignition switch problem. And by the way...
Well, and, surely you can't forget what happened with the debacle with Ray LaHood and Sergio Marcioni and all these exploding Jeeps out there. There's still 2.7 million of them on the ground and running, and the fix for that is a trailer hitch.
Yep. That's,
give me a break.
Well, when LaHood's gone...
Why don't you just put a firing pin on the bumper and let's go?
Well, not to make fun of the problem, but forgive a bad pun here, but your language is inflammatory. I think the core issue...
Thank you.
On that one...
Thank you.
...is trying to...
How's it inflammatory?
Is trying to impose a standard that was put in place later on vehicles that were built complied with current standards. And that's a very...
Yeah, until over 38 people died in these exploding firebombs. Yeah, I don't see how they ignored that for so long.
Well, we're in lawyer land, and now you're into an interesting subject, which is what is the job of the law and what is the job of a judge? Should a judge... Actually, you're taking an extreme... anti-Republican position here, Harry. In fact, you're taking a Democratic position that goes back to the 1930s, and
I'm just taking the right position.
Okay, well, but
I have no problem reaching across the aisle. I really don't.
But here's the position. There are usually, as an excuse for conservatives, they say you have to enforce the law as written. The progressive end of legal thinking is that a judge needs to consider the consequences of the decision. And what are the larger consequences? So you're arguing, if I understand your argument, that something more needs to be done, but under the conservative, you have to enforce the law as written position, you can't do anything. Under the progressive position, if this ever did go to the courts and you had a judge say, well, there's a lot of fatalities out here, so we need to not just say that these things didn't comply with the law or did comply with the law when they were built. We need to come up with a solution that solves the problem. That's the issue in a nutshell.
Yeah, and I have the solution, and it's the only solution that there can be with 2.7 million of these Jeeps and, Jeep products rolling on the roads today. The only way you can solve the problem is to get them off the road.
Well, I never say only. I mean, you could change the tank material and design possibly. You could change the rear bumper or and structure.
Yeah, but you don't know if that fixes it or just improves the problem or even makes the problem worse.
Well, you test them. I mean, that's why we have impact tests. That's why we have computer modeling. You fully understand what the existing...
Okay, I understand.
The existing system is doing, and then you say, here's what this system will do. And then you have to sit down and say, how does that compare to vehicles that have better records in this area? And if it's roughly comparable, then that's a fix that's acceptable to me.
Well, I still say they need to be pulled off the road. Hey, Nissan had no problem pulling all their vans off the road back in the 90s. I can remember being a Nissan dealer, getting the instructions to get a hold of everybody that owned one of those horrible Nissan vans.
But how many, in your dealership, how many did you have, Harry? I mean,
I don't remember. It was quite a few.
Well, what do you mean by quite a few? I mean, compared to 2.7 million, not in those Nissan vans, it was probably 10,000 total or something.
Whatever, but Nissan did the right thing because people were dying in them.
Well, and now you get back to a bigger philosophical discussion, which is, can we afford 100% safety versus what is acceptable?
Well, I don't think you're ever going to get a vehicle that's 100% safe.
Well, that's
but you can sure try to get a lot closer than those Jeeps are. I mean, I'd be horrified if I had a child or a loved one out driving in one of those Jeeps today, because, hey, if they get rear-ended, chances are they're going to get burned to death in it.
Well, no.
Let me say that again. Burned to death in it.
Harry,
hey, here comes the break, Ken. Okay. Talking to Ken Zino, AutoInform.com. If you're watching on Ustream.tv, I don't know what's going on with that thing, but we'll be right back after this short, beautiful break.
Geico presents Fan Mail to a Pig.
Dear Maxwell, first off, I really enjoy your commercials about Geico's app. I watch them over and over and over. They make me both laugh and very hungry. Weird. Anyway, I just want to let you know how Geico's new claim status updates on the app really blow me away. Getting those updates makes me think of you. I'd like to thank you in person. Just send me your address. All the best, Big Bad W. Sure thing, Big Bad W. I got a pen. It's 802 Not Gonna Happen Lane.
Claim status updates just a tap away on the Geico app.
If you're watching your wallet like most of us, then here's a family vacation offer from Caribbean Cruise Line. Imagine your family on a luxurious vacation to the Bahamas, including your cabin, all your meals, full spa, casino, live entertainment, 3 kids clubs, a kids water park, and more. Now imagine getting this amazing vacation deal for only $59 per person. This cruise has a full retail value of $500, and it's yours for just $59. We guarantee your family will love this vacation offer, and you'll love the price at just $59 per person for a $500 all-inclusive cruise to the Bahamas. Call right now. Book your cruise vacation. Space is limited. Call 800-364-3105, 800-364-3105, 800-364-3105, 800-364-3105.
Staples has great deals on everything you need to keep a germ-free office. From latex gloves and antibacterial wipes to steam cleaners and keyboard vacuums. Everything. Sorry. Except germ-free coworkers. Thousands of products added online every day. Text CLEAN to 555-444 and get 15% off your cleaning supply purchase. Staples. Make more happen.
Offer valid in store and at staples.com through 3/15/14. Exclusions may apply. You'll receive 1 message per text message and data rates may apply. No purchase necessary. See staples.com/SMS for Staples mobile terms and conditions.
Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Obvious.
If your hotel balcony lacks a railing and a floor, it's probably just a window. If you're going to LA, don't book a hotel room in Tallahassee. If you want to book hotels from your mobile device, use the Hotels.com mobile app. You can't use it until you download it, but once you have, you've got it.
Hotels.com, the obvious choice.
Got pain? Get Zim's Max Freeze. Zim's Max Freeze, maximum muscle and joint pain relief. Your solution for temporary relief of aches and pains. Zim's Max Freeze knows your pain and relieves backache, strains, bruises, and sprains. If you're a senior, weekend warrior, or seasoned athlete, get Zim's Max Freeze. Zim's Max Freeze is fast-acting and deep penetrating with no lingering odor. Available at all major retailers.
What is term life insurance? It's basically a financial protection plan for your family if you pass away. It can be a hard purchase. Think about it. It's one of the few major purchases you can make that you will personally never use. But you've got to have it to protect your family, and you owe it to yourself to shop and compare to get the best possible rates. For term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, call the Term Lifeline today.
800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068. Remember, we specialize in term life insurance policies of $500,000 or more, and we have great rates for smokers, too. So call today. 800-957-6068. 800-957-6068. That's 800-957-6068.
Right now until March 18th, the flooring experts at Lumber Liquidators have huge deals going to fit any taste or budget, like donor oak laminate for an amazing 39 cents a square foot. Beautiful carbonized bamboo for just $139. Even spectacular Bellawood pre-finished Bolivian rosewood for an incredible $299 a square foot. Pick up free samples at hundreds of stores nationwide, plus special financing available and easy professional installation or expert advice for DIYers. But hurry, this sale ends March 18th. Visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you.
In 1949, Scooter hopped on the horn and called up Geico to save himself some cashola.
In 1986, Clarissa gagged on a spoon when her insurance bill was way high. So she switched over to Geico and was like way amped with her savings.
OMG. In 2010, Sienna's parents got their savings on with Geico right after her Toad's Awesome Sweet 16. That's nothing to LOL about.
Over the past 75 years, the expressions have changed, but one thing hasn't: saving money with Geico.
This is Car Concerns with your host, Harry Douglas. Now, here's Harry.
Okay, here we are back with Car Concerns Radio USA. I'm talking to Ken Zino, autoinform.com. We do it every Tuesday morning. Two car guys talking about the car business. I don't think for me, it doesn't get any better than that, Ken. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Well, there's certainly a lot to talk about, and you and I have both spent our lives in the car business, and it's a fun business. I mean, what other business goes across government, labor, manufacturing, component parts suppliers, global marketing wars, and, of course, the great cars and trucks that we get, and SUVs that we get to drive? I mean, it's just it's a broad-based and important economic part of the United States and also the globe. If you looked, you see Chinese sales again, they just keep going up and up and up. The world's largest car market. GM and Ford are doing very well there. But so
we do get to drive some of the best cars in the, well, we get to drive them all. I mean, you know, and here's the thing. Some people say I'm a lousy car critic, and I couldn't agree with them more. Because, Ken, I never get in a vehicle that I don't appreciate. I don't care if it's a $12,000 Toyota Corolla or a $150,000 Bentley.
I'd be happy to find a $12,000 Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, I was wrong there. Well, a Subaru. I think I drove a Subaru that was $12,000 last year.
Not recently. I think you're looking at the bottom of the car market now, realistically.
Well, anyhow, I know there's some 12,000. What was it? A Fiat, maybe? Maybe it's a Fiat 500.
Well, the bottom of the car market now is about 15,000, and it very quickly moves up. But your larger point.
Well, here's what I'm trying to say. From the cheapest, that's what I should have said. From the cheapest, most economical automobile manufactured today to the most expensive, I have an appreciation for them all because I know they all serve a purpose in the market for people who don't like to spend $30,000, $40,000 for a vehicle. They go for the lower price vehicle, and I think I just can't find criticism with any of them.
Well, the larger point is it's very hard in the United States between regulation, competition, and improved manufacturing and engineering techniques. It's very hard to find what you and I would call a bad car. I mean, in the old days, you and I drove lots of bad cars. But
so if you want to say I'm a lousy car critic, I couldn't agree with you more.
Well, That's the point. There aren't lousy cars on sale out there. I mean,
what I will argue with is I'm one of the damn best auto enthusiasts you'll ever run across.
Okay. There's a lot of people with claim to that title, but the issue is, for people listening, is buy the vehicle that suits your needs and be informed. And Harry is part of this information system. Auto Informed is a data point, too. And the one thing that still amazes me, Harry, is very few people actually test drive the car they're going to buy.
Oh, you're kidding.
No, it's still... They go in, they look at it, they sign a contract. If they take
I never knew that, Ken, because hey, everybody, when I was a dealer, it was mandatory. I mean, man, don't even bring them in on the showroom floor unless you took them out for a test drive in that vehicle. Well, I mean, I didn't even want to talk to them. Hey, if I went in and talked to a customer on my showroom floor, one of the first questions I asked them, have you drove the car?
Yeah.
And if they said no, I stopped right there. I said, let's go drive it.
And the more important aspect of test driving a car is drive the car the way you are going to use it, not what the dealership says, well, we're just going to go around the block or something.
Yes, absolutely. I'm with you 100%.
Yep, because you're going to live with it for a long time. What's the average loan now? It's 6 years, I think.
Drive that car through a neighborhood and take it up, and if the salesman doesn't want to be gone that long, tough. Hey, take it up on the interstate, see how it goes on the interstate. All your driving habits. Hey, be happy with it. Take it home and see how it fits in the garage.
If they'll let you. The stop and go, merging and passing, accelerator response, steering feel, brake feel, sight lines. This is often overlooked by people with styling. Make sure the mirrors all work for you, right? That you can see. And, how big's the blind spot on the car on both sides? Can you back it up into your driveway? Can you put it in a supermarket parking lot spot without having to park in the back of the lot because the vehicle's too big or, won't fit or is too hard to park? These are all aspects of car ownership that need to be looked at, particularly if you're probably spending... I mean, you get a really nice car now, Harry, for $25,000. And you can get a sensational car for just a little over $30,000.
Hey, what do you think of the Toyota Prius? I drove a Toyota Prius. Best I remember, it was the economical Prius. But best I remember, that car was around $26,000. A Prius.
There's now 3 versions of the Prius. So there's a Prius C, which is the small one.
And that's what I was driving, a Prius C.
That's the least expensive one, and that's starts just over $20,000. But the full-size Prius, the big one, the extended version Prius, they're into the $30,000. I like all of them.
I do too. I didn't think, excuse me, I didn't think I'd like a Prius, but hey, after driving, I had a greater appreciation for them.
Well, in fact, Prius is so successful, there's a story up on autoinformed.com that Honda is killing the Insight. I mean, they're just not selling any of it.
Yeah, I reported that last week. I can remember, I was a Honda dealer, Ken, back in 1997, I believe. And I can remember I got the first Insight on the showroom, and I said, what in the hell is that?
Well,
do you remember the first ones? They look like a Citroen.
Yeah, 4,800 Insights were sold, and Toyota sold 234,000 Priuses. I'm just pulling up sales numbers here. So
but I can imagine that, and Toyota's done such a great job with the Prius, not only in promoting it, but letting people know how it actually works and how it saves them money and gasoline.
They still own the segment. It's the classic, what's known as first mover. They were in first when everybody made fun of them, particularly the Germans and the Americans, but particularly the Germans.
Hey, I used to make fun of them before I started driving them. I used to say, hey, you know what's took the place of the worst car to be behind? It used to be a Buick, an old man driving a Buick with the left turn signal on. But then I said on the show, I said, no, I hate to be behind a Prius. But not anymore. I have a great respect for that automobile. Hey, we're coming up on the end of the show, Ken. I want to thank you for being with us. Ken Zino, AutoInform.com. I'm Harry Douglas. I'm running for Congress. When I knock on your door, hey, I'm going to have a voter registration form. I want to make sure, hey, if you're not registered to vote,